Now, Honduras is on course to have its first female president. With half of the votes counted, the left-wing opposition candidate, Xiomara Castro, is ahead of her main rival by 20 points. Now, if she wins, it will be the first time in 12 years that the right-wing National Party has not held power. The BBC's Central America correspondent Will Grant reports.
Buenas noches. Ganamos.
We won, Xiomara Castro told her jubilant supporters, words they've longed to hear for 12 years. Ever since the last election was taken from them in dubious circumstances, government opponents have said change is urgently needed in Honduras. With the former First Lady pronouncing herself as president-elect, it appears they've finally achieved it.
Vamos por una democracia directa.
Let's have direct democracy, let's have participatory democracy. Today I reach out to my opponents because I have no enemies and call for dialogue.
The vote itself was generally peaceful, but not entirely free of problems. Issues with changes to the electoral roll and arguments over when the polls should close occurred at some locations. But mostly it was a day of high voter participation as people took the opportunity to make history in Honduras.
Sería histórico en el país que gane una mujer que llegue a gobernar.
It would be historic for a woman to win, the first woman to govern Honduras, unheard of since the return to democratic rule in 1982.
It would be something unprecedented here in this country, this society where there is a lot of sexism. To have a woman president would be a great way to move forward as a society.
Some 70% of Hondurans live in poverty, and their anger was mainly aimed at the disgraced outgoing president Juan Orlando Hernandez. His administration has become a watchword for corruption, and he was implicated in his brother's drug trafficking conviction in the US. He denies any wrongdoing, but voters had clearly had enough of his authoritarianism. The governing National Party's candidate, Nasry Asfura, ran a campaign insisting he was different, in part to distance himself from the tainted president. Although the final result is yet to be delivered by the electoral authorities, he now faces a near impossible task in overturning such a lead.
Amid the grinding poverty and economic mismanagement, there is a sense of optimism in Honduras for the first time in years. The incoming president's entree is daunting, but most Hondurans are just relieved to turn the page on a deeply painful chapter. Will Grant, BBC News, Tegucigalpa.